Claude Code is an amazing agent on your local computer that can help you not only with coding, but it can actually control your browser completely, which is an amazing thing I recently discovered. For some reason, I did not know that this exists in Claude Code, but I found a way to hack around a few things which I want to talk about in this video. This is going to be a really great video on how I reprogrammed Claude Code to operate under my specific instructions. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hype the video before you move forward. That helps the channel grow. So if you don't know about Claude Code is basically just a utility that you download and you can use it in any folder in your computer using a CLI, right? So if I just open this again, you will see that this is the interface. It's just a command line tool that you can start using right away if you have like the Claude Code plan and if you have all the subscriptions in place. And it can just you can ask it questions, you can ask it to do any changes to the file, and you can also ask it to do web search. What you can do with Claude Code is that you can also control your browser. Let me show you how. So this is an extension which I will remove for now because I want to show you from the very start. This is also not the extension that I've actually used. I've used a different extension. Quick disclaimer on what I'm about to show you. I do not recommend that you do it on your own computer. This is purely from an educational point of view on understanding how Claude Code Chrome extension works and how you can tweak it according to your needs. This is dangerous stuff and I would not want you to operate your agent like I'm showing you, so be careful. If you go to Google and write Claude Code extension over here and you write Google Chrome, you will see that there's an extension called Claude over here. I have no idea why the rating of this extension is only 3.0. It's actually a really good extension. If you add this extension to your browser, once you do that, you can basically, it'll ask you to authorize Claude Code account. So I will authorize it. Once that is done, you can just close this down. You can go back to your Claude Code window, Control C, and start Claude with Chrome as a flag. -- Chrome, right? And if you do that, you will see that you have a new command called Chrome over here. Now, if I say Claude that, hey Claude, open Chrome and go to example.com, that's it. Let's say I give this tasks to Claude. Now, given that Claude Code is an agent, it's like a full system. It's an agent that can do like multiple things again and again. It's not just, a single thing. See, my hands are here. The browser that you're seeing right now is being operated by Claude completely. It's opening example.com, but you see there, first of all, it gives me like a prompt for, just making me understand the permission. And then it asks me that if I want to go to example.com or not. So it asks me for this new permission, right? So I will allow this for now. And once I do this, you will see that example.com opens up. Very cool. A few things to remember, few things to notice here is that you see that I am still in my own profile. So there is no difference when Claude is operating the browser versus when I am doing it, right? Because you see that all my extensions, icons, my profile, Google Chrome profile, literal profile is here. That also means that I'm actually logged in, right? If I go to Gmail or if I go to any social media account, social media profile, I'm actually logged in. Claude is operating my browser autonomously, fully autonomously. This is actually very interesting if you think about it, because I've been recently using Claude Code as an agent for doing research on my behalf on what content to create in the first place, right? So some of the shots, some of the Instagram content that you're seeing from my side, some of those ideas are actually researched by Claude Code. It just goes to a bunch of websites, figure out what needs to be done, what needs to be recorded, and it just does that work for me. However, you would see there are two problems basically which we'll solve in this video, which again is like, it's up to you if you want to follow that or not. But the first problem is, let's say if I ask it that, can you go to Reddit and look for some interesting facts? The first problem which I saw is that Claude Code does not use or does not has the ability to go to every website. There are some websites that Claude Code does not visit due to security reasons, compliance reasons, all of that. See, we get the error message that this site is not allowed due to safety restrictions. Now, this is something that's coming in from Claude Code. You can still ask it to search the web, whatever. This is first restriction, which I'll show you like how this can be bypassed. The second one is, let's say, can you go to, let's say, youtube.com and search for latest video by Mehul Mohan, right? So if I give it a task, you will see that again, it'll take like a second to think about what it's supposed to do. It'll now start to work. The immediate thing that happens is that it asks you to give you permission. Now, this is actually it's a one-time thing. You don't have to do this every time. So you can always click on always allow actions on this type. But the problem is that every time Claude visits a new website, you have to actually give this permission, right? All right, so you can see that Claude Code successfully searched for me in the area here. Maybe it wants to open the channel next, or it just gets the couple of shots that I've just recently published, right? But what you saw were two problems. First was some websites are not allowed at all. The other problem is that it asks you for prompt for every website. Let's fix them. So you see, fundamentally, Claude Code is running through an extension over here. I can pin it over and I can click on this. It'll mount the sidebar, which is also nice if you want to use it like a GPT type stuff. But I mean, I don't really want to use this interface. I can use it directly from Claude Code, so that is good enough. But what we want is not the stock extension. So I will remove this. I will remove this extension completely, and I'll close this app group as well. What I'll do is I'll go to Google and I'll write Chrome extension download zip, right? Or maybe just Chrome extension download or CRX downloader. So you see, we get this website where I think this is the Claude extension, right? Which I already downloaded earlier. Yeah. So you paste this, you generate it, and you get a CRX download link. Now CRX is basically a Chrome extension file resource. So it gives you this CRX file, which is what we need. But the CRX file can't be used directly. So you have to convert this to a zip file first, which I'll do it, convert to zip, and you can then download this file, right? So once the file is downloaded, let me just open it inside my cursor over here, and you will see that over here, this is the Claude Code extension that we have, right? So basically what you are doing when you're installing that extension is that you're loading this piece of code. Now inside this code itself, there are things that don't allow you to use Reddit and all, right? So in order to figure them out, what I'll do is I'll go back to Claude Code and I'll ask it again, can you open Reddit in browser, please? And of course, it's not able to do it right now because I've disconnected the browser extension. Let me just actually reinstall the extension. Go to Chrome extensions, click on this load unpacked, select your extension, and it'll again like ask you to authorize and do a bunch of things, right? Anyway, so once this is done, you will see that you got Claude extension again. And now if you go back to the terminal and ask it, can you open Reddit and go to a subreddit, what you'll see is that Claude will not follow it, and we will use that information to debug to figure out how do we make it follow. All right, so we get the same message again that this site is not allowed due to safety restrictions, and we know for a fact that Claude itself does not has that capability, right? It's not built into the model itself. The model is already trained. It has its weights, it has all the different stuff. So it's not like it's enforced on a model level, it's enforced outside the model, right? And since technically this is my computer and this is my extension, I am in control of the stuff that's going on my computer, right? So I can go back into the cursor instance and I can find this error message where it's coming from. So it's coming from someplace here. And if I format this file, format this document and search this again, you will see that it's coming from this specific place. This site is not allowed due to safety restrictions. And if you see this message, basically what's going on is that it's trying to get a category of the website first that you are going to load, right? And if the category is in category 1 or 2 are blocked, which is like internal, some of their internal stuff, the website would not work. And how are we getting this category? From another function that uses a cache, so it does not keep on repeatedly calling Anthropic server, but the request that is actually made, which checks if the domain is allowed to capture or domain is allowed to be operated by Claude Code. It is done over here by this. We have this API anthropic.com/API web domain. So what we do basically is pass on the domain first with the authentication authorization token. We get the category back and we are, just returning the category. That's it. If this returns category 1, which is what's going on here, or category 2 or category block, then it will not work. But if it returns category 0, which is the default unblocked state of everything over here, then it will work. And I can actually show you this because you would be confused at how do I know all of these things. So let's go back to Chrome extensions. Let's say over here, go to details and open this service worker, right? And if I search for this exact same error message, you will see that we do have this stack trace over here, and I have these breakpoints already set from my previous attempt, which I was doing before I was creating this video. So anyway, going back, let's say I ask it to do the same thing again. Let's wait for this debugger breakpoint to kick in. Okay, so it has already, Claude is smart enough to understand that it's already not allowed. So I would just, go ahead and repeat the message without actually talking to the Chrome extension itself. But if I do this again, let's see if it works this time. So it's asking me which subreddit do you want to open, which is weird. Again, these models are non-deterministic, so they'll have different outputs every single time. And you can see the moment it tries to attempt, you will see that it will go into this get category function where it will try to make this request. So we have this E as the whole URL. But if we go inside this fetch category from API over here, okay, I think I missed. I just pressed play a couple of times, but you will be able to see that Reddit clearly lies in category 2, right? At the same time, if I say it like, can you open example.com for me? The same website that we saw earlier, you will see that that lies in category 0. So again, we are over here, play it again, and you will see that we get this prompt, which is fine. We get this, which is also fine. And now we come back, and I think I missed that. But basically the idea is that this category comes out to be category 0, sorry. So you can see over here, the category is 0 for domainexample.com, and there is no organization policy. Let's bypass this. So all we have to do here in the get category is just return category 0, right? So this is the first hack that we are doing. And if I reload the extension again, and if I go back to Claude code, and if I ask it, hey, can you open our programming subreddit on Reddit? Now, because we have removed the patch, it should just open the subreddit directly. And the thing is that it will be able to do a lot more stuff, right? Because it's not just restricted to opening website. You can ask it to go through all the last 50 posts on everything, and it'll do that. So you see, now we get the prompt, this prompt basically, which asks me to give it permission, allow, and now it's able to browse subreddits as well, right? So you can take control of the websites. Now, the other thing that I will ask it to do is I want it to remove that thing where, it asks me for permission for browsing the website, because it's annoying, right? If I'm giving it like an agentic task, and if I want to go away for 30 minutes or an hour, I want it to keep doing the work that it's supposed to be doing, right? So I can ask it, can you go to example.com again, just to show you what the prompt is, and let's patch it in real time. Okay, example.com was already whitelisted, so we have to try a different domain. All right, so over here we see that new permission required is something that we want to bypass, and it happens somewhere over here, right? Inside the side panel. So this is the JSX code that we have. I'm assuming this is React itself, but this is where things are going down. So you see that this FE is the component that is getting rendered. And if I do a lookup of this, you will see that this is being used in a couple of places. First is where it is defined, and then is where it is getting mounted, right? And if you look over here, you will see that we do have some plan approvals and some things going on. This is like obfuscated code, so it's hard to read, but it's not fully obfuscated as well. The prop names at least are fine. So we can probably set a debugger at least, right? So let's look for this specific snippet, and let's add a debugger inside Claude code. So if I search again for this, interesting, we are not able to find this in service worker, because service worker is not the one that is getting invoked. All right, so we probably have to look into here on how this is invoked in the first place, right? So in the execute part, we'll have to figure out if the execute happens before the permission or after the permission. So looking at like how things are working, I'm assuming that this is where the permission sort of check is, right? But we can be just sure about this. So let's just look it up. Let's just set a debugger endpoint, and let's just patch it then. Okay, so we have a bunch of these permission managers, 10 to be precise. So we'll have to probably fall back again to exactly the place where permission manager exists, right? Anyway, because it's a little time consuming, what I can do is just put the debugger breakpoints on most of these for now, right? Or at least the ones that I feel like. And I'll just ask it to go to some random domain. So I'll ask it, can you go to cloudflare.com? Let's say. All right, so you can see already that we got a breakpoint over here, and this is the permission manager that we have. And inside permission, we have these 3 items which are allowed. And I'm assuming this is like example, this is Reddit, and this is google.com, which is something that we have already given permissions for, right? And this check permission for some reason is a Sentry service file, which I don't understand why it is named Sentry, but this is basically what it is, right? So if you go inside this, you see they have a check of bypass localhost for MCP, or if it's a localhost URL, then it just automatically allows, and there is no prompt. Otherwise, you have all of this stuff, right? Again, like this is operating Claude into very dangerous mode. So I would not recommend anyone to do that. This is just for a fun activity, but you can now go ahead and look into this check permission thing, which is there. Only if I can find it inside this file, this check permission. If I just go ahead and return it this instead of all of these things, allowed to be true, needs prompts to be false, save it, go back, close it, reload the whole extension, go back to Claude, end it, start it, and then let's say I say, can you open wikipedia.org? Now remember that I have not opened Wikipedia before within Claude system. And yeah, let's see how this works. So let's see the browser that Claude is operating, and you can see it's currently on the Cloudflare page, it read all the tabs, it created a new tab, and now it's trying to open, hopefully, Wikipedia directly. So it bypasses my permission, it bypasses everything. I can ask it, let's say if I go into the settings for Claude, and if I go ahead and let's say revoke all websites access, go back to Claude Code again, and if I ask it, can you go to reddit.com and find the best post, best meme of last week, something like this. Let's say if I give it a task. Now Claude Code is operating fully autonomously. I'm just giving it a task. It'll open the browser in the background, as you can see already. It should be able to open Reddit directly because we have bypassed every check. It's going to be slightly fast also, because we are avoiding like a couple of API checks and things here and there. And you can see it has started to take screenshots, and it has landed into the memes tab, first of all, the memes subreddit. And it gives me like, some description of a meme by a user. It describes the meme, and I want it to like, let's say do a deep research for 30 minutes on this. Like I can give it task, I can now just walk away from my table and it will be done after whatever time it is. So it's a pretty interesting technology. I would not suggest you or recommend you using this because there are very, very bad drawbacks of this. Your agent can read something bad on the page itself and probably execute that as an instruction. However, you should be able to, like if your system prompt is fine and your model is intelligent like Claude Opus, ideally it should not be something that should just take arbitrary instructions and start to execute them. But still, again, don't do this. These security measures and these things exist for a reason. They have put in there for a reason. They don't want you to, just go crazy with your browsers. And there are pros and cons, right? The pro is obviously that it's running inside your own Chrome profile. So you basically have access to your whole session, your logged in accounts, everything. So you can automate your bank stuff. You can automate your social media stuff, research, all of that. But the con obviously is that prompt injection can literally happen on the website and your agent can do something because it's running on your computer, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you liked it, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next video very soon.